r/AskReddit. What's a place easy to enter, but hard to exit? New Jersey. The only place in the universe that's free to enter, but you have to pay to leave. A cult. Ducking mirror maze. Been here for 3 years now. A well. Why did the blind man fall into the well? Because he couldn't see that well. A toxic relationship. My friend got stuck at a strip club because he was drunk. The place was too dark and he couldn't find the exit. Warm shower on a winter morning. The bed before that shower. The bed any season. Scientology edit. I'm not Karen. Also, if you're looking for a deep dive into this cult, get at Mizinu. Lee Ramina's book, Troublemaker, is an excellent read. Any cult, really? A bad sleeping pattern. There should be a pattern. Them. At least for some people. Gym memberships. Debt. Minecraft cave network. Torches on the left going in. Right coming out. Right equals return. Carrot, edit. Yes okay left equals leaving. Stop messaging me about it. Ikey. Time to look at every showroom and fantasize it's my actual home. Even harder to exit when it's infinite link. Negativity. It's so easy to get down on yourself and get into a negative mindset. Addiction to something. Whether it be cigarettes, food, heroin, or what have you. You'll never admit your addiction until it's already way past a sensible point. It's not a physical place, but more of a mental thing. But still. Prison. Your finger in a plastic-clad straw hole. The grave. This reminded me that sharks' teeth are pointed inward, so that if a fish tries to wriggle free it will only get more stuck. Stay out of sharks' mouths, kids. Edit. This was nice to wake up to. Stay out of sharks' mouths, thank God you told me that. A conversation with my grandmother. Reddit. It's been 6 years since I last saw sunlight. Days since my last meal. I've lost hope. After being trapped in this minscape of a heck hole. Browsing through each subreddit after subreddit. I only hope for death. I'm sorry my sweet Monica. I'm sorry for not being a good father to Jack, and a good partner to you. Says with 9-day Reddit account. The D stands for decades. Definitely a casino. An escape room. Blight Town. The military. If you go on without a plan for getting out, they'll make getting out seem like an insurmountable obstacle, and the only other option is to give up another 4 to 6 years of your life dealing with bureaucracy. Alcoholism. The mental hospital. When I was 15 my therapist asked me if I would want some help at a hospital. I just said yes, because I was desperate and listened to any adult's advice. A week later I was sent to the hospital. A week passed by, and I was slowly getting worse. I didn't care about my hygiene anymore. Another week passed by. Nothing helped. I felt like this just didn't work for me, so I asked if I could leave. They, the workers, said no. I didn't understand, because I thought, if you voluntarily entered the hospital, and wasn't in any danger to yourself or anyone else, you could leave whenever you wanted to. But no. So another week passed by. I was desperate at this point. I started to feel suicidal, and was begging them to let me out. They just treated me like air. Like I was nothing. Occasionally they came in, to get out their anger on me. Calling me awful things. And telling me what kind of awful person I was. I started to plan out my suicide, and was ready to die at that point, because I'd rather die than be locked up in a cell, like I was a criminal. After 2 months I got a bad ear infection, and just slept on a mattress all alone in my room. My parents came to visit me, and felt bad for me, so they took me with them home. then returned me to the hospital when I got healthy again. But finally my therapist came to visit me and saw how horrible and beat up I looked and told the workers that I could leave if my therapist didn't come. I would probably have to be there for a year until I turned 16, because when you're 16 you can leave whenever you want. Debt. It starts with a back quote, I'll spend some of next month's pay this month, but then the next month you do the same. Plus a little more. When it's just numbers on a page, it doesn't feel like you've spent anything. You pay the minimum and spend more than you pay. Add on the interest and it gets ahead of you. Before you know it, you can owe half your annual income and you're not even sure what the heck you got in return for it. Have fun changing your lifestyle to ramen and saying no to social events for the next 5 years. The Thunderdome. A psychiatric hospital. Poverty. Addiction. Hotel California. Depression. It's like entering a different world you can't leave. Edit. Sorry if that's a bit dark, lol. Edit. Thank you for the gold whomever you may be. It's the first time I've ever gotten gold and don't fully understand what it means, but I have a little shield next to my name, so that's cool. Also, for anyone who may be struggling with depression/anxiety or anything else, please feel free to PM me if you need to talk to someone and feel alone. The state of depression. Quicksand. The bathroom when you have kids. Eating disorders. McDonald's Place Center. There is no exit. Edit. Remove the edit, because people think thanking people for helping me reach a karma milestone is begging for upvotes. Indeed. It is one of the more tangible examples of an event horizon that is accessible here on Earth. Once a child passes through the barrier, it is utterly a piece of shit suitable to remove him from the play center. Camps of scientists often set up shop in McDonald's stores to observe this phenomenon, and many interesting discoveries have been made. For instance, there is the age-old question: if matter brought into the playpen is irretrievable, does that not violate the Universal Conservation of Information Law? It turns out that it does not. Due to what has been dubbed the holographic MIC principle, in a sense, all information that enters the playpen is projected flatwards onto the surface of the pen, and may even be projected on the very barrier edge of the universe, if such a thing even exists. Furthermore, Hawking won a MIC Nobel Prize with his theory that playpens gradually lose mass through a process known as plate-type radiation, where virtual particles formed at the threshold of McDonald's playpens are separated, sending the unpaired particle outside the horizon out into space. A form of energy leak that all singularities exhibit. Abusive relationships. Abusers don't advertise they are abusive, so it's easier to enter a relationship with one. But the victim usually has a hard time leaving. The EU apparently. Edit. Lem take this opportunity to give a shout out to my SoundCloud. Heck. A K-hole. The weird side of YouTube. I don't know. Once I get deep enough into the weird side, the recommendations turn into trending tab shit soon. It's actually harder to get that deep than it is to get out. Once I stray far enough from what I usually watch, the algorithm starts trying to steer me back to it. A trap. Easy to enter Canada without a passport or enhanced license. Hard to come back to the US. I crossed over the bridge in Lewiston and I accidentally missed the turn for I-190 to Buffalo, with teen daughter and young son in the car. Stopped at the first customs booth on the way into Canada. Me. I don't really want to go to Canada. I made a mistake. Customs. No problem. Pull up a little bit and make a U-turn. Head back home. Me. Okay. Thanks. Us customs. Citizenship. Me. Us. C. Why were you in Canada? M. Explains what happened and what I was told by the other guy. C. I need Iridan there, pointing to kids' birth certificates. Me. Hands my license. I don't have their birth certificates. I had no intention of going to Canada. C. How do I know you're a US citizen? Me. I gave you my nice license. Well, sir, I don't know. He plays on his computer. Yeah, I know. He was checking some list or another, or running my plate or some such thing, and he finally tells me he'll let me go this time, but from now on I should have an enhanced license, and at least a birth certificate for my kids. Sheesh. Second this. I went to Canada with my family when I had just turned 16. Earlier that year I had gotten and enhanced it, because we knew we were going to Canada and weren't sure if it had a license yet. Then a month later I got my license and we went to Canada. Well, mine was still valid as was my license, so I had 2 legal forms of it. Canada didn't care. Let us right in. Tried to go home, and we got detained, because I had too many forms of it lol. Thank you for watching. Please like the video, and consider subscribing for more daily AskReddit content.